Welcome you to this broadcast of boys varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We're at Minster Gymnasium where the Jackson Center Tigers take on the Minster Wildcats. Tonight's game brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Pratt Industries, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Borchers Floor Center, and NKTelco. Saturday night game between the 15-1 and number 2 ranked Jackson Center Tigers and the 30-14 Minster Wildcats. Along with Brandon Coverman, I'm Dave Kanapke. Brandon, looking at the Jackson Center Tigers, 15-1, 9-1 in the Shelby County League under veteran head coach Scott Elkert, and they got to be one of the top teams in the area, if not the top team.
Yeah, you take a look at this team. They lose their first game of the year to Russia by 1, a game that they could have won at the Horn, but after that they've rattled off 15 straight victories. This is a very senior-led team. Nolan Fark averaging 11.7 points a game. You take a look at Jace Mullenhauer, 15.3 points a game, a candidate for Shelby County League Player of the Year. This is a veteran roster led by the Dean of Shelby County Basketball, Scott Elkert, here this year, and they've been red hot, searching for a Shelby County League title.
The home team tonight, the Minster Wildcats, 3-14 under head coach Michael McClurg. And to the casual observer, Brandon, they look at the record and think, oh, not a very good or talented team, but they have been much better than their record would indicate, and especially the sophomore guard, Cole Richards, had a heck of a year. Yeah,
3 points over 30 games, and like you said, Dave, they're 3-14 and playing without their leading scorer in the year earlier, Brogan Steffi. James Niemeyer out as well with an injury for a little while, and these guys have battled for being 3-14 and being really young. I mean, you talk about, there's been some moral victories. They played a really good, close game last night with a very good Delphus St. John's team. So Minster, can, pull off an upset here tonight. It's going to be a tall task against a very good Jackson Center team.
Yeah, just following up on that point, Minster has lost 2 overtime games, and they've lost 5 other games that were 4 points or less, including last night. They lost to a very good 10-win Delphus St. John team by 3 points. And, yeah, there are only 2 players that had any experience at all. Brogan Steffi had hip surgery about 6 weeks ago. And the other guy is James Niemeyer. He's had a hamstring issue. He's out for another month from what I hear. So they've had to fight through it. Right now we'll take a pause and we'll be back. We'll wait for the starting lineup. Or pause for the national anthem and back for the starting lineups on NKTelco Sports.
I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Welcome back here. Getting ready for the Emerson Climate Technologies starting lineups for both teams. Minster 3-14, 1-5 in the MAC. Jackson Center 15-1, 9-1 in the Shelby County League. They're currently tied with Russia at that 9-1. They're 3 games up on both Botkins and Fort Laramie, both at 6-4. First, they'll start with a visiting team, the Jackson Center Tigers. Head coach Scott Elkert in his 23rd year. Starting off, 6'2 senior Nolan Fark, 12 points a game. Over 27 3-pointers. Jace Molenauer, big year, 15 points a game, 5'10 senior. Grant Elkert, a 6'2 senior, 2.5 a game. Another senior, Bryson Roberts, 5 points a game for the 6-foot senior. And then rounding out this all-senior lineup, Camden Reese, 6'3 senior, 4 points, 5 rebounds again. Scott Elkert, great career at Jackson Center in his 23rd year at the helm of the Tigers. They will dim the lights now for the Wildcats as they will be introduced. Dim the lights, crank up the music. Try to get the fans, especially the students, going here. PA announcer is Jamie Wolf. Actually, now Cole McClurg wearing a different number tonight, wearing number 12 for the 5'10 freshman, 5 points a game. Cole Richard, number 4, up next, 15 points a game, including 31 points last night. One of the forwards, power forward, Ian Holman, 6'3 sophomore, 6 points a game, 6 rebounds a game. Logan Cooney, 6'2 senior, the defensive specialist on this team. And then the big guy in the middle, 6'7 freshman, Cole Albers, 8 points, 7 rebounds a game. They're coached by Michael McClurg in his 7th year at the helm of the Wildcats. Now let's look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Brandon, let's start with the Jackson Center Tigers.
Thanks, Dave. And first, taking a look for Coach Scott Elkert, he talked about rebounding, and that's something they do really well, particularly Camden Reese on the baseline. And they want to challenge the shots of the Minster Wildcats, especially guys like Cole Richards. Don't want to make them go off for another 30-point game here tonight. And they want to play, they talk too about energy. You know, it's a Saturday night. They had the Friday night off in the Shelby County League rotation this week. So they want to come out here and play with some energy, as it's a little difficult sometimes to play on a Saturday night compared to a Tuesday or a Friday.
Now our keys to the game for the Minster Wildcats.
They need to be able to match the physicality that Jackson Center is going to play on defense. They need to limit turnovers. And they need to play efficiently, because Jackson Center is one of the best efficient teams at running their offense in the entire area.
Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza in Newport, Ohio. Tip one to the Tigers. Nolan Fark will be way off on the 3 ball, as that is knocked out of bounds. Jackson Center shoots a very good 42% on their threes. Their overall field goal percentage is 48, which is impressive. You just don't hear that at a high school level. Either one of those numbers.
And that's why we talked about efficiency as one of our keys.
Minster with the ball, and they will throw it away. So turnover for turnover here. Not technically Jackson Center wasn't turnover. Minster averages 48 a game. Jackson Center 51, but Jackson Center only gives up 31 a game. Minster gives up 56, so a -8 on the differential, and there will be a bump there. Logan Cooney, the defensive specialist, you always watch who he guards. He always guards the best guard or forward. He's guarding Fark tonight. Draws a quick foul. 3 ball up there by Reese. Rims out. Minster with their second possession. Cole Albers, 3 Coles in the lineup. Also Dylan Watercutter quickly in the game as well, as the hook by Albers is off the mark. Fark with a pull-up shot. Rims out. Reese with the rebound. Not able to finish it. They'll say it's off Minster. It'll be Tiger ball. Tigers 15-1. They lost their first game 42-41 at Russia. They've won 15 since. Closest game they've had 2 games that were 8 points. That's it. Whew. Nobody else closer. The rematch with Russia was, they won by 12 at Jackson Center a couple weeks ago. Mullenauer scores 15 a game, gives it up to Reese, back to Mullenauer. Jace will drive, and that will go off his foot. And a characteristic bad start so far for the Wildcats.
And that's why, Coach Elkert talked about, having that energy, not playing, on Friday night, kind of maybe is something that they have to overcome here.
Check the lineup. Cole Richard is not in the game. Dylan Watercutter is in the game. There's a quick change in the lineup. In the ball game, Watercutter will put the 3 up. And there will be a foul on Holman. And no, they'll call the foul on Jackson Center.
Yeah, Roberts had his arm wrapped around. Even though he had front position on Holman, he had Holman wrapped around where he couldn't even try to go for the rebound.
So I think I did the starting lineups wrong. I assumed that Cole Richard was in the game, but he is not starting. It's Dylan Watercutter, senior, and that's a leading scorer not in the lineup for the Wildcats. I did not hear that he wasn't going to go in, so I had talked to one of the assistants before the game. I did not hear anything. It might have been a late change. We'll see how it turns out. Holman will back it in, bank it in for the basket.
Good athletic move. No help on that side. Nice bucket there by Ian Holman.
2-0 Wildcats on our First National Bank scoreboard. First National Bank, think first. Mullenauer drains the 3.
And Mullenauer, silky smooth. If you haven't watched Jackson Center play yet, they get him the ball in a variety of ways to score.
Left-handed hook there by Cole Albers. He banks it home.
He's going to be baptized by fire tonight playing against Camden Reese, one of the best post defenders that you'll see in the entire area.
Get it into Reese. There's Roberts with the basketball. 3 ball there by Elkert. Rebound is Minster. Pass quickly underneath to Holman. And they will be an offensive foul there. Good defense being played there by Bryson Roberts.
Yeah, nice job selling it. He's that guy that really embodies that energy. He's not going to score a whole lot of points, but he's that kind of that 5th guy that brings that energy, brings that 3-and-D kind of mentality to this team. And that shows you right there, that physicality, takes that charge, exactly embodies what Bryson Roberts does.
Number 13, Lucas Highcamp into the game for the Tigers. He has the basketball, gives it up to Fark. Fark, a 6'2 seniors. An all-senior starting lineup. You don't see that very often anymore. Used to be, norm might be a strong word, but it was very common to have that. Fall away by Mullenauer, and it gets the friendly roll.
And that's why I said smooth there, Dave. You don't see too many people take a shot like that anymore in modern-day basketball.
Pass underneath. A nice save there by Mullenauer. Turnover gives it to the Tigers with a 1-point lead. Mullenauer thought about it. Fade away. Ball bounces around, and Reese follows with a stick back.
And those are those second chances you got to limit if you're Minster right there. An easy shot for Reese.
Cole Richard is going to be coming off the bench here. At the next dead ball. Pass down to Albers, triple team. And he's able to draw the foul.
I mean, they had 3 guys around him too. And he's able to get to the line.
Cole Albers shooting 2 for the 6'7 freshman. Nothing but nylon there as Cole Richard comes into the game. Didn't get the start, but coming off a 31-point game against Delphos St. John. 6 of 6 on his threes, 5 of 5 on his free throws. His third 30-point game of the season as Albers drops a pair of free throws.
Some nights you're just feeling it, and it just happened to be that night for Cole Richards.
Very, very early in the season, he wasn't starting at all, and he's getting a late start here as he's into the game. But now Jackson Center with the ball as Reese will bring it up. Over to Fark on the wing. Back to Reese, Mullenauer. Those 3 will be the main ones to touch the ball. Pass underneath to Reese. Platfoot in the game, number 32. Baseline back to Reese. At the Fark. Down to Reese, working against Homan. Corner 3, off the mark. Nice rebound by Heitkamp, and there'll be a foul, I believe, on the rebound, or they'll say it's on the Heitkamp shot. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, and just missed that shot from the corner. Minster's only taken 3 shots in the field compared to the Tigers' 9.
Heitkamp hits the first one. 6'1" sophomore, averages just over 2 points a game. Generally, you talk about how many shots take. Generally, whoever is able to take the most shots usually wins, especially if it's more than if it's a big discrepancy. Heitkamp hits a pair. Lead now at 3, 9-6 on our First National Bank scoreboard. Richard guarded by Fark. McClurg to Cooney. Working through this man-to-man defense that Jackson Center always does a great job of playing. Cooney through the lane. McClurg cannot get his shot off. Minster averages about 17 turnovers a game, so something they always want to try to limit. Pass down to Albers, and we will have a foul, and Cole Albers will go back to the line to shoot 2 more.
And really, I talked about Cole Albers going down there against Camden Reese. Albers is at his way down there. Albers has actually played really good down there against Reese, who I said is probably one of the best post defenders I've seen all season. And Albers, for a freshman, has done a very nice job in the early part there, getting the ball and trying to make a move to the basket.
Number 3, Lucas Hartle, 5'11" junior in the game for the Tigers. Second attempt for Albers as he splits a pair. He now has 5 of the 7 points for Minster. Lead back to 2. Camden Reese, post player, brings it up across the timeline. Heitkamp. As Plattfoot with the basketball gives it to Fark, now to Reese. Always the very deliberate or disciplined offense.
Yeah.
It's actually nice to watch. They know how to play offensive half-court basketball. Fark could not get it to fall. Reese flies in there for the rebound. Heitkamp draws the foul on Albers. Reed Heitkamp will go back to the line to shoot 2 more. Lucas Heitkamp.
And again, a nice play by Camden Reese. He hasn't played defense the way he usually does in the early part of this game, but he skies in there and gets a rebound and creates another opportunity for Jackson Center, and they convert the first free throw.
3 for 3 is Heitkamp. Sophomore Connor Schmeezing into the game, giving Cooney a break. Second toss for Lucas Heitkamp. The net barely moved there. 7-11 in favor of the Tigers. Cole McClurg wearing number 12 instead of his customary number 1 tonight. Got a heads up on that, but didn't hear why he changed numbers. As there'll be a foul. They threw it to Richard.
Trying to get Richard the ball there on the top of the key so he can try to create something. Jackson Center all over that, but that time a foul called.
I think the foul is on Nolan Fark, his first. McClurg has been mostly the point guard this season. Connor Schmeezing back to McClurg. 3 ball, yes sir.
And that's a nice job. He comes off that screen really fast, rolls, and a nice shot there by Cole McClurg.
3 ball. Off the mark by Roberts. We'll have a follow there by Plattfoot, and Plattfoot is fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Plattfoot has done a really nice job coming off the bench. He's a sophomore, really lanky, really raw, but you could see the potential. That game I had against Roosh, you really see him grow up. Had a really solid game that night, and you can kind of see him being that next great post player. We talk about this being a senior-heavy team. Him kind of taking that Camden Reese role next year for this team.
This is the first one. That was the second foul on Cole Albers as he leaves. As Cooney back in the game. Plattfoot splits a pair. It's a big development for Minster as Albers has been pretty effective so far as McClurg across the timeline to Holman. Cooney gives it up to Schmeezing. Homan on the wing. Always a challenge trying to attack this half-court defense of Jackson Center. Coach Elkert always has his Tigers playing great defense no matter the year. This year is no exception when he has probably a better offensive team than he normally has.
Yeah, for sure.
The defense is always expected, but Minster hanging in there. Just down by 2 here late in the first quarter. Cooney gives it to Schmeezy. Minster's okay with being deliberate here. They're not forcing shots. It's Cooney now playing a post position with Albers out.
Hey, you take that as an underdog role. Albers with two fouls on the bench. I take holding that. That's a good decision there.
You want to shorten the game if you're an underdog. You're only down by 2. Coach McClurg says, I'll take that. Let's just try to get a point here. They get it to Richard. He's not able to get the shot off. Cooney, a long 3. That is short. We played 1 quarter of basketball here on our First National Bank scoreboard. Jackson Center 12, Minster 10. We'll be back with the second quarter on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
1 quarter in the books. Here in this Saturday night affair, Jackson Center leads by 2.
Yeah, Jackson Center able to get off double the shot attempts, but Minster's only able to get off 5, but they're only down 2. A pretty good first quarter by both teams, especially Minster got to weather the storm with Cole Albers having 2 fouls. They have him on the floor to start the second quarter, though.
Minster ball to start us off. Minster in the white uniforms. They got new uniforms about 3 weeks ago. Nice, crisp-looking uniforms. They have 2 different away uniforms, a black and an orange. So, nice uniforms and new look for which will be a new look Minster the next few years. A very young team. Will be a veteran team in a couple years. Only 3 seniors on this team, only 1 junior. Down to Albers, another nice hook.
Albers has looked really good, and again, playing with 2 fouls. He has 7 against Camden Reese. He's had a very nice start to this game.
We are tied at 12-12 in our First National Bank scoreboard. Turnaround by Fark. He has yet to score. Rebound Minster. Minster chance to take the lead here. Richard will get a lot of attention tonight, I am sure.
Yeah. You've seen it off those ball screens. So he's run off those ball screens. They've given him a lot of attention.
Richard has had 13 straight double-digit games. The kid who played all JV last year through the lane, that is tipped away. Turnover for the Wildcats. Up ahead is Elkert. There's Reese. He thought about letting the 3 go. They'll reset it with Fark. Reese back to Nolan Fark. They work through their offense. 15-1, number 2 ranked in the state. Richmond Heights is number 1. I believe Russia is number 4.
Yeah.
Marion Local is 8. And there's a shot by Mollenauer.
Yeah, Richmond Heights, the defending state champions as well.
Good point, and probably, I imagine, a fair amount of athletes back. Underneath, Albers, this time too strong on the bank shot. Mollenauer with the rebound. Gives it up to Reese. They'll kick it out quickly around the 3-point arc. Roberts gives it up to Reese. 5:30 to go. Jackson looking for their first points this quarter. In the foul lane, it will finally be a jump ball. That will be possession error. Will keep it Jackson center. Noah Schwierman in the game. He played some quarters of JV, and also number 13 Lucas Heitkamp back in for the Tigers.
Be interesting to see. I gotta try to get Nolan Fart going here as well. You mentioned he's scoreless. Mullenhauer hit a few shots to start.
Fark averages 12, Mullenhauer 15. They're two double-digit scorers. Fark guarded by Cooney, who's done a nice job on defense this year for the Wildcats. So they work it around. There's Roberts with the basketball, gives it to Fark. He'll let a long three go. Back iron. Mullenhauer with good rebound. He'll drive to the basket and one.
Boy. Just, you watch him and it's just so fundamental. Again, it's just smooth watching him get to the basket. It's so fun to watch, and he's got a real chance to be Shelby County League Player of the Year. There's a 3-4-man race, and he's right in it.
Yeah, it'd probably be Caleb Maurer, Fort Laramie.
Yeah, Hayden Quinter from Russia and Carter Plyman from Botkins, I'd say, is about your 4-horse race right now.
Yeah, there's some very good basketball players there. I'll take those four and somebody else, and you got a heck of a team there as Mullenhauer completes the three-point play. And remember, he got that on offensive rebound and drove there and did that almost all on his own. Wildcats back on the attack. Albers with 7 of the 12 points. He's trying to post up. Been pretty effective with him underneath on the block against Reese. McClure gives it up to Watercutter. Back to Logan Cooney. Minster's been careful handling the ball. Hasn't had many turnovers so far. There's Watercutter, gives it up to Cooney, senior to senior. 3-ball, McClure in and out.
Good look. Just didn't get it to fall there.
Yeah, those are possessions like that. You took the right shot, it just didn't fall, and go back and play defense. Working around the perimeter. There's Fark. Down low to Reese. There's Elkert. Not able to hit the three. Albers clears the boards.
Kind of surprised Jackson hasn't gone very aggressive at Mullenhauer.
3-ball from the corner pocket by Logan Cooney, and we are tied at 15.
And the Wildcats not shying away from the challenge tonight here, Dave.
As we talked in the pregame, they're 3-14, but they have battled in a lot of games, just haven't been able to win the close games. Lucas Heitkamp can't get the shot off. Reese, a very good ball-handling post player, gives it up to Fark. 3 minutes to go before halftime. Knotted at 15. Heitkamp, there's Mullenhauer. Pull-up 18-footer. Battled around. Good job by Schwierman to save it, but he knocked it out of the hands of the rebounder, but then he caused a foul on the scrap for the ball.
Make it a 1-and-1 opportunity, I believe, here for the Tigers.
Tigers shoot from the line 71% as Cole Richard back in the game. And Ian Homan. I want to repeat their shooting numbers they're 48% as a team for field goals. Usually if you're in 45, that's great. 71 from the free throw line, which is very good. And 42 on threes.
Jeez.
And 70 is always the standard on free throws. If you can hit that, the good teams.
Yeah, you're a good free throw shooting team,
Hit free throws, control the ball, play good defense. That'll give you a good tournament run.
Yeah, and
as pair there by Heitkamp.
They're 8 of 9 from the line tonight, so I mean they're off to a very good start, about 88%.
Especially Lucas Heitkamp, 6 of 6.
Yeah,
not bad for sophomore off the bench. Minster ball down by 2. Holman trying to post up, and they will have a travel. He tried to kind of move his pivot foot. Turnover gives it to the Tigers.
Yep, and again, too, you talk about the efficiency. 1 turnover so far this half. 1. Yeah. So, again, most coaches say, 10, 12 turns a game. That's pretty good. They have 1 turnover right now. But and again, for Minster, they're only down 2.
Yeah, they're not flashy. Underneath there was the Plattfoot. He has to kick it out to Highcamp. Work it quickly around. Mullenauer, quick move and in.
Yeah. Boy, you know, blink and you miss it right there. Mullenauer takes it to the basket.
Now with 10 points for Mullenauer. McClurg to Richard, who's yet to score. Under to Albers. Triple team blocked there by Reese. Scramble for the ball. And the whistle will find Ian Holman for his second foul.
Coach McClurg has an argument. Albers was getting hammered under there. He should have had some calls. He was getting harassed there on the backside on his jersey.
Ian Holman rolled his eye. I've seen him play now. He's a sophomore, so he's mostly through his second year. He has not yet agreed with the foul call called on him yet. Every one of them, he always has that look like, what? Me?
No way.
No way. And it'll be Lucas Hartle will shoot the 1-and-1. Rattles out. Holman with the rebound. So it's news when Jackson Center misses a free throw.
Just 8 for 10 now.
Yeah, that's only 80%. 4-point lead. Minster's been pretty efficient on offense. Richard has yet to score. And Coach McClurg was beside himself as they finally call a foul.
And they're hedging those ball screens really tight. I mean, they try to run Albers off of anything. There's nowhere for him to go. They've been trying to run him off ball screens, but Jackson are just so good at covering him up.
Yeah, they don't play just defense. They play very physical defense. Like you say, they cover him up. It doesn't look like a foul, but they have the positioning there that they use every, they're not a football school, but they're as physical as any basketball team out there. This is definitely the #1 sport at Jackson Center High School, at least on the boys' side. What a season so far at #2 ranked in Division IV. Minster battling with it right at a minute to go, down by 4. McClurg gives it up to Schruderman, to Richard. They're being pretty patient with this. I don't know if they'll be able to keep it for the rest of the half. Richard tries to pass it underneath, and it skips past Holman.
Yeah, you just get that bounce pass in there a couple more inches, and you have a good chance at a high percentage shot. But the 6th turnover of the half for the Cats.
They had taken Albers out of the game to protect him with 2 fouls. Dylan Watercutter into the game for Richard. 45 seconds to go. We'll see what Jackson Center does. I don't know if they necessarily go for one shot. I think they just run through their offense here. Yeah. Reese to Nolan Fark coming up on 30 seconds.
Oh, maybe they will be patient. Who knows?
They have, through the years in the tournament, they have won more games that they've only scored 30 through the years.
Yeah.
They know how to win low-scoring games. And it's because of their defense and ball handling and discipline on offense. Fark will give it up in the corner. Mullenauer nails the 3. Minster trying to put up a prayer, and now he played a half of basketball. It was 15-15. Jackson Center scores the last 7 points. Both teams go in the locker room on our First National Bank scoreboard. Jackson Center by 7, 22-15. We'll be back with the first half stats in the second half on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
We're at halftime here on our First National Bank scoreboard. Tigers of Jackson Center lead the Wildcats of Minster by 7. With the first half numbers, Mr. Brandon Coverman.
Thanks, Dave. And first taking a look for the visiting Tigers, they're 6 of 18 from the field. They're 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. They have 12 boards, 1 turnover, and 8 of 10 from the line. From the field for the Minster Wildcats, they are 6 of 11, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, 7 boards, 6 turnovers, 3 of 4 from the line. Individual scoring for Jackson Center, they have 10 from Jace Mollenhauer, 6 from Lucas Heitkamp, 1 from Reed Plattfoot, and 2 from Camden Reese. For the Minster Wildcats, they have 7 from Cole Albers, 3 apiece from Cole McClurg and Logan Cooney, and 2 from Ian Homan.
You know, you look at the first half, it was back and forth. It was at 15. Minster's right there, and then the Tigers just score the last 7 points. All of a sudden, which was a nip-and-tuck game, it's a 7-point lead at halftime.
Yeah, and actually Mollenhauer had 13. I was wrong there, but yeah, they got on a little run here. And that's the storm that Minster has to weather here, you know. Oh, you got to keep Albers out of foul trouble. Be interesting to see how, you know, the Jackson Center Tigers defend him, because he was Minster's really best source of offense that first half.
So we start the second half. Cole Richards starting the second half. And that will go out of bounds. It'll be be 3 Coles. Richard, Albers, and McClurg. Logan Cooney and Ian Homan for the Minster Wildcats under 7th-year head coach Michael McClurg. Quick pass, Cooney with the tray. Rebound by Fark. Check the Jackson Center lineup. You have Fark, you have Reese, who's trying to post up. You have Roberts, Elkert, and of course Mollenhauer. For the 15-1 Jackson Center Tigers. Drive by Fark, swatted away by Albers.
It's a good take by Fark, but again, the freshman Cole Albers comes in there for the swat.
He's moving up I don't think he'll set the school record, the season record. He'll probably have about the 3rd or 4th most blocked in a season. Probably has a chance at the career record. We'll have to get out the program. We did that at one of the other games, and he's moving up the ranks. Underneath, Mollenhauer can't get it to fall. And a nice drive. Minster on the attack. Richard looking for his first points, and that was just short. Get the ball back from Albers. A good assist there by Cole Albers to Cole Richard. The first 2 points for Richard.
Much needed to hopefully get him going. They need that source of guard points, so to speak.
There'll be a foul there on Minster. I think it's on Cole McClurg, wearing his new number of 12. That's actually his 3rd number of the year. He had like a 30, I think, and then they got the new uniforms, and he had 1. So 3rd time's a charm, or maybe this is just a temporary thing tonight. I do not know. Pass underneath to Reese. Back to Reese. A nice reverse layup. Senior schooled the freshman there. Nice play there by Camden Reese.
And Reese now with 4. A nice take to the baseline again by the senior Reese.
Lead back up to 7 for the Tigers. McClurg. Holman will shoot a rare 3. It's rebound by Elkert. I don't think he shot a lot of threes. We'll try to look that up. That's only his 4th one of the season. Nice give and go to Elkert, and it rattles out. Outlet pass to Cooney. He'll have to give it back to Richard. Richard will let the 3 go. Holman with a rebound, and he did a good job of boxing out Elkert. Grant will be called on the foul.
Yeah, Minster's taken 4 3-pointers this second half already compared to taking 5 just in the first half.
Underneath to Richard for the basket.
Nice job in executing the offense there for Minster. Getting Richard the ball underneath the basket, set out on the arc.
24-19. Fark with the basketball has yet to score. Credit Cooney, who's defended him a lot so far. Elkert thought about a 3. Roberts doesn't pull the trigger. Cooney has guarded him, and now they trap him. Molenauer, quick passing. Roberts. Molenauer's there. That time it's short. There'll be a foul there on McClurg. And Coach, let's see. I thought there was a whistle like there was going to be a timeout, but there was a whistle by one of the referees, and we had a technical. That's on, we'll see who. The foul was on McClurg. I know that.
Is it technical on the Tigers?
I think it might have been. Okay. We'll see what the technical, if we can hear what the PA says.
I don't know what on. If it's a player technical, I'm going to guess, because your coach is still standing up, so.
Richard, an 82% foul shooter. That rattles out. Yeah, I don't know if the wrong word was said or what, but there was a whistle, and all of a sudden it took a while from the T motion. So Richard will shoot this. I think it'll be Minster ball then on that as he hits that one. So it would have ordinarily been Jackson Center ball out of bounds on a common foul, but with the T, that was able for them to shoot the foul shots, and Jackson Center bench is fired up as well. As a lot of talking on their end, and right now Minster with the ball down by 4. Holman trying to post up. Good job there by Roberts to steal it away. He read that pass. Roberts to Reese. Far long 3. Back iron, Molenauer driving on Cooney. Loses his footing, steps on the end line. Turnover, gives it to the Wildcats.
And only their second turnover here tonight. So here's a chance. You got to capitalize on this opportunity right here if you're the Minster Wildcats.
24-20, they are down. Like they've done in a lot of games, they've been competitive in games. McClurg looked like it was right on line, but drew back iron. Ball on the floor. Fark picks it up for the rebound. To Reese. They have switched now. Cooney is now guarding Molenauer. Richard is now on Fark. And they are doing some double teams. Molenauer open, and he drains the 15-footer.
Yeah, that's the thing too. If you're going to double these guys, you have to be fast on your rotations and closeouts, or Molenauer's going to get good open shots like that.
The other way of saying it, if you're guarding Molenauer, a player like that, you can't double team. You have to stay on him.
Yeah.
You can't help. There's some guys you're guarding, you can help other people, but not him.
It's an interesting decision to double team. Haven't seen it too much from too many of the teams when I've seen Jackson Center play.
And it's a pass that was too slow in developing. And a turnover there is like Plattfoot must have stole it, but then he shuffled his feet. So turnover for turnover. Some of the passes for Minster, they just telegraph it it's slow and happening, and a good defensive team like Jackson Center, that's like taking candy from a baby.
That's why coaches talk about good, quick ball movement and always be cutting on offense as well.
Yeah, you have to meet the pass as well. It's something that doesn't get as much notice as what it should. There's a pass to Holman. Turnaround, rolls off. Rebound. I think we're going to have a foul on the rebound. That'll be on Cole Albers. Or no, it's on Holman, his third. One of those frustration type ones. He has 3. Albers has 2, as well as McClurg. Most importantly, Jackson Center with a 6-point lead. With 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Reese down to Highcamp, up and under. Reese crashes in for the board. That's just good hustle. And he draws the foul.
Fouls against Homan.
That's a big 4th foul. I think they were trying to get him out.
Yeah.
Schwierderman was at the table and
not in time. And again, they do a really good job on the offensive glass as well. And they've been really active on that glass. Interesting thing too, Jackson Center wearing those gray uniforms. You don't see gray very often.
Not for a road uniform.
Yeah.
Some teams will, like the Buckeyes, wear a light gray for their home jerseys. So I think in high school I was told you have to wear white in home teams. Because if the Minster had the orange that they broke out at the MLK Classic, and I asked the coaches about it, I was like, well, no, we can't wear them at home. They won't be on the road because you have to wear white.
Yeah.
So Camden Reese with a pair of free throws. He has 6. The Tigers with an 8-point lead. Noah Schwierderman, an athletic freshman, into the game. To Cooney, to Richard. The thing the Wildcats do not have is a lot of depth, and Richard might have got away with a travel or double dribble.
I think he traveled. He pinned the ball against his knee.
McClurg. They have been good on their half-court offense. They're not forcing action. Richard trying to drive up and under, and he draws a foul. That's what Richard has added to his game. Last year, he played mostly JV, and he could shoot lights out. He's always had that, even when he was younger. Yeah. This year, he's learned to drive through the lane, draw fouls, and just do some up and unders, and he'll shoot 2 here.
Yeah, and 83 free throw attempts this year is pretty remarkable. If you get to the line 83 times, I think I was doing a game the other night with Carter Plyman from Botkins, and he got to the line 80 sometimes this year. That tells you you're very active in getting to the glass.
Yeah, the good scorers score a lot of points from the foul line. Get to the line. Richard has definitely developed into a good scorer, 15 a game, as he hits a pair of free throws. Minster hanging around, down by 6.
That's all you need to do as a home underdog, hang around and strike at the right time.
Richard with 7 points all here in the second half. Quick ball movement. It's a flat foot. I don't know if he was going for the slam there, but it was stopped, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Wildcat ball.
And it was clean block, too, I thought. Yeah, and Albers has played really well tonight.
Albers playing with a couple fouls, and he has held his own. He's been picking up the aggressiveness and the assertiveness that you have to have as a big guy. He's been learning as a freshman, able to keep that one alive, and that's stolen away by Fark. He'll take it to the hoop and in. Great play there by Fark as he went to the window. He knew he was going to be fouled. He protected the ball, went for the three-point play. His first 2 points there. And that's a veteran play there by the senior Nolan Fark.
Exactly what I was going to say. He's played a couple years on varsity. He knows how to get to the basket. Nice take there by Nolan Fark.
Dylan Watercutter will come back in the game to give Richard a blow. Logan Cooney will come in as well. Fark with a nice steal. Took it to the basket as Cooney back in. So he puts his goggles back on that he's had to wear his senior year because of a summer eye injury. And Fark completes the old-fashioned three-point play, and very quietly, Jackson Center now they're up by 9.
Yeah, you need a bucket here. You feel like this possession, and Coach McClurg wants to talk about it here.
Full timeout. We're watching boys high school basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Timeout being taken by Minster. All the timeouts sponsored by Precision Strip. And as you mentioned, as we went to the timeout, pretty important possession here for Minster.
Yeah, and that's why I think Coach McClurg took the timeout. That's the first timeout all game that's been taken. So you feel the momentum kind of shifting there, and that's not what you wanted to happen out of timeout.
A little bit of a slow pass again, and intercepted by the Tigers. Drive to the basket. Nice move by Reed Plattfoot.
And I mentioned Reed Plattfoot has come a long way this year as a sophomore. And that's a play right there. He gets a steal and he scores right there.
I'm guessing that's probably not a play he makes early in the season.
No, and he's come a long way, and he's that next big, really good post man for the Tigers.
They've had a whole bunch of them through the years. This is the 36th meeting between these schools. Jackson Center leads the series 18-17, but they've dominated. I think in the last 15 years, they've probably won it 12 or 13 times. They've been that dominant against Minster, and that goes through the hands of Schmid. I will say that it went off of Jackson Center. That, from our angle, it looked like Schmid touched it last, but you know, it's all about your angle, and the referee called what he saw, and I think they might talk about this.
And you mentioned, Dave, how good Jackson Center's been lately. They've had 15 straight winning seasons, I believe.
15 in a row.
Because I know I mentioned it on one of the broadcasts I had with Jackson Center earlier. And won 15 in a row, 15 straight winning seasons. So pretty incredible.
Yeah, and I'll read through some of their number of wins in the season. The last 14 years, they've won 19-19, 22-22, 15-18, 24-21, 16-22, 27. And there they get a turnover. Pass up ahead to Mullenauer, and Fark and Mullenauer run the fast break.
They just work so well together, too. I mean, it's just, they're so fun to watch. It's just incredible.
They are nothing flashy.
No.
You got to be a purist, love basketball. You and I do. And there's Reese. Can't get it to fall. And they're just at the point they're just frustrating a young Minster team.
And you got to slow things down a bit here. We talked about shortening the game. It's a 22-15 deficit at halftime, but now it's ballooned into this double-digit deficit. And the Tigers too are playing those passing lanes as well.
Yeah.
If you're Minster, you got to fake those actions, go down, ball fake, whatever, to try to get the Jackson defense to jump early and score over top of them.
Second toss here by Reese. Rattles it home. He now has 8 points. Lead suddenly up to 15. They have just pulled away slowly here in the third quarter. They have all year down to 6 seconds. McClurg will put up a shot. Rebounded by the Tigers. Fark will let a half-court shot go. Good third quarter for the Tigers. They outscore Minster 15-7 on our First National Bank scoreboard. Tigers lead by 15. We'll be back with the last quarter on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
We go to the fourth quarter. The Jackson Center Tigers in command, up by 15.
Yeah, huge third quarter there, and kind of some turnovers there. 7 turnovers in that quarter for the Wildcats, and it was a 15-7 difference on the scoring total here. Again, that defense from Jackson Center tightened up. They really closed those passing lanes down, and the Tigers in control here.
Reese gives it up to Fark. He'll shoot the 3. Holman playing with 4 fouls with the rebound. Minster needs to get on a roll, and we will have a elbow underneath. I think they caught Reese on the elbow. He and Albers were going back and forth that a lot of post players do.
And they've done a nice job this second half adjusting to Cole Albers.
Minster just scored 7 in that quarter, all scored by Richard. She does the fadeaway. Pass ahead by Reese. He runs the 4 well. Just a little too hard off the glass. McClurg was going to pull the trigger, but Elkert came out on him. Watercutter gives it up to Richard. There's Albers. They're doubling down on him. There will be a foul. Coach McClurg is trying to do some coaching there, and he's saying he's got to be big underneath there.
Exactly, and that's that freshman stuff right there. If he can get big, he can kind of shield Roberts away from him and be able to kick that ball out and move it around the perimeter.
Albers has had his share of growing pains, but it's had a pretty solid freshman season.
Yeah. You see the potential is there. Yeah. And it's not easy. You play junior high ball and then you go to play varsity. I don't care how good you are. It's tough.
Especially when you're junior high and you're by far taller than everybody. Yeah, now all of a sudden you got guys your size and are stronger than you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easier said than done. Roberts down to Reese. He'll kick it out. Hartle gives it to Roberts. Good job on the rebound there by Albers.
Three-point shooting both sides of the second half has been pretty pedestrian. 0-6 from the Cats and 0-4 from the Tigers.
On 2, that was three-point shooting percentages?
Yeah, 3-point,
Both of them shoots pretty good. We talked about 42% for Jackson Center. And there is a 3 by Richard. Wow.
And there it is. I think we just had to say it for it to happen. And Cole Richards there, nice shot.
He came into tonight shooting over 50%, just barely, like 46 of 91, which was set a school record. There was a player a few years ago, Jacob Salazar, that averaged 50% on the season. Jeez. And Richard, he has become a scoring machine this year as he completes the three-point play. And what's funny is it seems like, I'd love to see what his scoring is in the second half compared to the first half. Like today, he didn't score in the first half.
Yeah.
And now he has 10 against St. Henry. He scored 4 in the first half, 26 in the second half. And there's a 3 ball by Elkert.
I think I just had to say it, and then all of a sudden they're like, "All right, you want to see us start hitting threes? Sure, we'll start making threes."
It's the reverse jinx that we put him on the free throws. Yeah,
exactly. Or the volleyball serve.
Yeah, yeah. The power we have, it's amazing. There's Richard through the lane. Might have got away with an NBA step.
Yeah, he did. And Coach Elkert's wanting that too.
The thing is, I mean, he's 5'11", I don't know, 140 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's going to get the calls because he's going when he goes in the big guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Richard back on the line like you talked about. The good scorers get to the line. And we jinx that as well. He's missed 2 of them tonight.
Yeah, come in 80% this year as a shooter.
Cooney back in for Watercutter. And he has been the only Wildcat to score here in the second half after not scoring in the first half. It's second one, nothing but swish. Timeout on the floor by Minster. Full timeout. You're watching high school basketball here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Now this precision strip timeout. Wildcats trying to battle back, but they're still down by 12.
Yeah, they're off to a 7-2 run to start this fourth quarter. Actually, sorry, a 5-2 run to start this fourth quarter. And they pick up in full court here, feeling that desperation here.
Jackson Center, a good ball handling team, no problem breaking the pressure. And Molenauer now with 19 points.
I was going to say, that's the thing with a press right there. You can get the ball to Molenauer at the foul line jumper. Boy, that's that's smooth right there.
Minster had to press, but this isn't a team that you can press very well in Jackson Center.
But you have to.
You have to, yes. McClurg with a runner. That is short. Cole Albers battling for the rebound. It looks like he draws the foul. Yeah, we talked a little bit off air. You look at the remaining schedule for Jackson Center. At LCC on Tuesday, home against Fairlawn, at New Bremen, probably the toughest game they have left. At Houston, home at Riverside. So they're going to probably win 20 or 21 games in this regular season.
Yeah, I got that game against Riverside to close, but, next Sunday is the tournament drawing for that Piqua Sectional. When we talk about how good that Piqua Sectional is every year, I believe Jackson Center has made it out of that Piqua Sectional They did not make it in 2018 out, but they made it out in 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. So 4 years in a row, they've made it out of Piqua. They've been one of those two teams. And I believe by just kind of looking at it, them and Russia both have one loss, but they beat Russia by more than what the Raiders did at the beginning of the season. So I think Jackson Center has earned that #1 seed over the Russia Raiders when it comes to drawing next Sunday.
I'd agree. And if you get the 1 and the 2, you can usually set it up. You don't have to play each other till regionals, maybe not till regional finals. Depends how it breaks out.
And it'll be an interesting bracket because Botkins, if I had to predict, Botkins would probably go with Russia. I think they match up better with Russia, and I think Fort Laramie probably matches up better with Jackson Center. But that, it's interesting to see what region they go in.
And to see what the seating is. Now in the Southwest District, they're not doing the Martin RPI. That's only the Northwest District.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would make a difference, but it'd be interesting.
Jackson Center still had the Martin RPI over them anyway.
Yeah, so missed free throw there for Jackson Center. Tournament draw tomorrow is with the girls, and that'll be a turnover by Minster.
And there's some good teams around. I know there's a Columbus area team that's coming over for the regional, but there's a very good Cincinnati Christian team that has been state ranked this year that is also hanging around in that regional as well. You got the 4 Shelby County League teams that have been hanging around this year. So there's a lot of good teams that are going to be vying to get out of the regionals.
I'm not sure I'm pretty sure I heard the Walpock District, it's usually like the MAC winner who Marion will get the #1 seed. They're going north this year. So a lot of times they go south, which sounds like a year they make a great regional even tougher. And Cooney with a nice steal. Cooney to the hole, reverse layup and in.
And a nice steal there by Cooney to get there in transition and force the fourth Jackson Center turnover.
41-31.
Talk about this, too. Richmond Heights would be the most likely the team that comes out of the region. This Region 16 is where the Shelby County League area teams are coming out of. Richmond Heights is most likely that most slotted team to come out of there. They have, I forget his name. He's the 34th ranked sophomore in the nation on 24/7 Sports. Richmond Heights won the state title last year, beat Tri-Village by a modest 30 points.
Yes.
And they bring back a lot of star power. So they're the favored team. So Jackson Center, you want to say they're the favorite to get out of that Southwest District. They have, in Scott Elkert's tenure as coach, they got to the state final in 2012. They lost to a very good Berlin Highland team. They got to the state semis in 2016. They were in the regional final in that 2020 COVID year.
Yep.
But this is one of his most talented teams. That 2012 team is probably his most talented team. This 2023 team is great, but his 2012 team was amazing.
Yes, Andy Hoying was the senior, was a great player, and they ran into a buzzsaw Berlin Highland. They had Trey Elker, coach's son, who is now head coach at Walpock. I've seen that team.
Yeah.
It was a great team.
That's probably the best Shelby County League team I've seen in my 15 years of probably following Shelby County basketball.
Better than Botkins a few years ago?
I would say it would be a very competitive game. If you had them play 10 times, it would be very tight.
Well, you know better than me.
It would be very tight.
Yeah, that's either one. Both of them are great teams. You don't want to say one. You don't want to diminish either one of those.
They're one of the best I've seen. Yes, and no disrespect, obviously, to that Botkins team, because if they played 10 times, they probably both each win 5.
Yes, and they'd be great.
So that's a good
high-level basketball. Yeah, it's as Reese hits a pair, he's now in double figures with 10. It's tournament basketball. It's always one and done, so it's not the NBA where you play a series. So one bad night, when your star player is in foul trouble, or the other team hits a lot of threes, and you could be watching the rest of the postseason. As McClurg's shot is off the mark, outlet pass ahead to Fark, and he lays it in. That was a great outlet pass.
Yeah, it was, and that's what Jackson Center does well, is they run the break and they get good open outlet passes and score.
Be a timeout by Minster, sponsored by Precision Strip. Another full timeout. We'll be right back on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
2:48 to go. Minster battling, calling this timeout, sponsored by Precision Strip, and another game for Minster where they have hung in there against a very quality team. And the thing is with a young team is they will play great in stretches. Just they don't always put the whole 4 quarters together. Seem like they have a bad stretch in there, and that's just common for a young and inexperienced team. There are no returning lettermans on this team as Cooney misses it. The only ones that had any experience last year were Niemeyer and Steffi, and neither one have played in 2023. And will not probably be back.
Yeah. And it shows the experience. You know, you want to say the thing moral victory, but boy, I've coached young teams before. I coached baseball where I've coached really young teams where it's like, hey, we're going to be back next year. But again, you hope with health, and you have football, and you hope everyone makes through the season okay. But these guys have a lot of potential. Again, you look at just 3 wins, and but talk with people saying this Minster team has a lot of potential, and you see it here. They're hanging around with probably the best team in this region and only down 14.
Senior Amy Peppelman into the game is, I am sure anybody who's in their district will not want to play them. The top teams will not want to play Minster. They know it's not a typical team that's going to get a low seed.
It's a dark horse.
It's a very dark horse. They could probably win the first game, maybe knock off one of the top seeds out of sectional, but be a moral victory. You can see the talent there. You can kind of project who's going to be playing in what spots.
Yeah.
The big thing, they got to have better health than what they had this year from a couple players. And hopefully that's a thing of the past for those two.
And the best thing to play is when you have nothing to really lose, and that's the best to play.
Last year, Minster only won 6 games all year, and they battled Marion at the sectional final down to the last minute.
Yeah.
And Marion ended up winning the district that year. So it's a rematch you often get as Reese splits a pair. Still a 15-point lead by Jackson Center. You have 3 seniors in there, Dylan Watercutter, Logan Cooney, and Andy Peppelman. A couple weeks ago, when I was getting information from Coach McClurg, I made a comment to him about, I really like how hard this team plays. And they fight when it's a losing battle sometimes, and he really gave a lot of the credit to the seniors and the culture they've given. All these seniors, the 3 of them, you could see them there, Peppelman, Watercutter, and Cooney. It's like they didn't play hardly any varsity.
Yeah.
They came out and they played hard and earned their spot in there. He said they have set the tone and the culture, and that is why they are leaving the program in a better shape than what they found it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the saying. So credit to those 3 seniors, Cooney, Watercutter, and Peppelman.
And you've seen, too, you saw the growth through football. They had one win the season before. Make a good deep tournament run this year, a good deep playoff run. You've seen the growth of Minster through all these sports, and you're going to see a leap. You see a leap this year, and you're going to see another leap next year where they're going to contend in the MAC. I mean, it's a really wide-open conference right now.
Nice drive by Fark. He has 7 points all in the second half. Senior and team number 2 ranked Jackson Center Tigers. There's a 3-ball by Albers. Cole Albers. Let's see if, I know he's only shot a few of those. It's the second one he's made. He's now 2 of 11 on the season.
Yeah, he's got 11 points.
But the Jackson Center Tigers, they are as good as advertised. Have one of the best coaches in the area, Coach Scott Elkert, and there Lucas Hartle able to get a basket. They will go to their 16th straight win, 16-1. And we will see. I know you and I and many people will be paying attention down the tournament trail.
Yeah, and don't be shocked if they're down. They know that Kettering, Fairmont, Trent Arena. They've won a lot of games down there, and then again, they're always that classic pick with sectional. It's always tough too. So we're not going to guarantee. We know Jackson Center's good. We've seen. You always get to that district semifinal. I call it still sectional final.
Yes,
but
I do too.
There's always going to be one of those 2 games are always a classic down to the wire game, and you never know what teams it's going to be. But Jackson Center certainly has hopefully a good run.
And that is a great atmosphere at Piqua. Every year you have the rivalries, teams playing each other for the 3rd time, and the Jackson Center Tigers, good victory for the Tigers. They go to 16-1. They defeat the Minster Wildcats. Our final score on our First National Bank scoreboard, Jackson Center 50, Minster 36. Score by quarter after 1, it was Jackson Center 12-10. At halftime, they extended to 7, 22-15. They extended to 15 in the 3rd quarter, 37-22. And the final score, once again, Jackson Center 50, Minster Wildcats 36. Jackson Center goes to 16-1 on this season. They will travel to LCC on Tuesday the 31st. Then their next game is home on Friday the 3rd against Fairlawn. The Minster Wildcats go to 3-15. They will be back in action next Friday night, home against the Fort Recovery Indians, and they travel to St. Mary's on next Saturday night. Scoring for both teams, Cole Richard ends up with 12 points all in the second half. Cole McClurg with 3. Ian Homan with 4. Logan Cooney with 6. And you have 12 points by Cole Albers. So again, Cole Richard and Cole Albers with 12 points apiece. For the individual scoring for Jackson Center, 19 points by Jace Mullenauer. Nolan Fark with 7. 11 for Camden Reese. 6 for Lucas Heitkamp. 3 for Grant Elkert. 2 for Lucas Hartle. And 2 for Reed Plattfoot. With the final team numbers, Mr. Brandon Coverman.
Thanks, Dave. And taking a look first for the Tigers, they were 15 of 38 from the field, 3 of 12 from beyond the arc, 26 boards, 4 turnovers, and 16 of 21 from the line. For the Minster Wildcats, they were 11 of 27, 4 of 14 from beyond the arc, 14 rebounds, 16 turnovers, and 11 of 15 from the line. So, again, a really great game and a good back-and-forth battle. The Cats hung around for a little while, but eventually as the game went on, Jackson Center was able to slam the door.
They do is like they have done all season. They have won 16 in a row. So congratulations to Jackson Center Tigers as they roll on to victory. One more order of business. We'll do our player of the game for tonight's game, and we're going to give it to the senior, Jace Mullenauer.
Yeah, and I think he's racked up probably a couple of them this year, and rightfully so. He's going to be in that discussion for Shelby County League Player of the Year. 19 points tonight for Jace, and again, just really smooth overall game for Jace Mullenauer. So congratulations to Jace Mullenauer, NKTelco Player of the Game.
And congratulations to the Tigers again for the final score. They defeat the Minster Wildcats 50-36. For my partner, Brandon Coverman, I'm Dave Kanapke. Thanks for watching on NKTelco Sports.